Hello, and welcome back to Educator.com. I'm so glad that you're joining us today. And I just want to compliment you on what a good thing you're doing for yourself by using Educator.com to supplement your learning in AP World History. For my part, I'm following the College Board, the AP guidebook for AP World History, called the course description, and I'm going by it page by page, and the exam will come out of that too. So this should be a very good help to you. And for this session, we're looking at period 3 still, period 3, and period 3 is 600 to 1450. And this is the last section, and it's called Increased Economic Productive Capacity and Its Consequences. So again, let's do a little parsing of this, because those are, a lot of big words thrown together. So, increase, we know what that means. It got bigger. Economic, whoa. What does economic mean? This is one of the problems that some students have, is getting their categories straight and what goes in them. Economic has to do with buying and selling, how people make a living, what's traded, how the people manage to have a living, and how well that's going, whether it's going well or not. This is the economy. So in this case, we're looking at economic things more than what we did in the last one, which was political things, and be able to separate the political from the economic. So they're going to increase their productive capacity. So make more stuff, okay? So increased ability to make more stuff. And what's the result of that? What are the consequences of that? And for consequences, again, we are working with one of our thinking skills, which is trying to get things put in the proper order and whether or not one thing causes another. In other words, if we produce more, does that cause other things to happen? Or do other things happen and it has nothing to do with that? So those are we're working on that thinking skill as we do this lesson. All right? So let's go back and just review again the three major concepts that the College Board is giving us for this third period. And the first is expansion and intensification. Expansion and intensification of communication and exchange networks. Of the stuff that was already there, it gets bigger and more stuff goes on it. All right? And the second one is continuity and innovation. These are not the same thing. Continuity, things that remain fairly the same. Innovation, things that change, of state forms. So state forms are political. And when we're talking about exchange networks, we're talking about trade. And trade fits in that economic category. And then the one that we're going to work on this session is, as we just pointed out, increased economic productive capacity and its consequences. So let's look at innovations. Innovations stimulate food production. Now, I changed that word from a bigger word to food. What was that word that I changed? If you said agriculture, you got it right. Agriculture is food production. So we had, and to stimulate means to push it forward, make it bigger. So I'm going to ask you 2 questions here, and I want you to think about them. Now, I know some of you are only going to think for a few seconds, but if you have the discipline, I'd like you to, after I read the questions, for you to turn off the video and think about them for a few minutes and then come back. So what are they? What will be the result of being able to produce more food? Since we can produce and will produce more food, what's going to happen because of that? And the second question is, what new situations will arise because of that? Okay, so it's a predicting thing here. So if you can manage it, turn off the video and think about it, and then come back. Okay, so what's going to happen if we produce more food? I hope that most of you thought, well, that will mean more people. And if we have more people, what's a little bigger words? Increase in population. All right. Now, the second question is, if we have more people, what will the result of that be? And there can be lots of answers to that. We're going to see some of those as we go along, all right?